everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. It's a very exciting topic for me because this is something that I feel really passionate about. And, you know, Charl, we talk about being unconventional and speaking to people who are just ordinary people doing extraordinary things. And today we have a guest, Keegan, who is joining us today to talk about holistic well-being, which I find extremely unconventional. And I'm just going to give a bit of a backstory from a personal perspective. Growing up in like the 90s, I'll say, there was a lot of focus around physical well-being. So whenever, you know, there was a lot of focus on it. Anything around mental wellness was quite a taboo topic, so no one really touched on it. Yes, there was the traditional psychologists and psychiatrists, but nobody ever spoke about it. But then as we have evolved over time, we've slowly learned that everything is interconnected. You know, there's the mental part which we need to focus on. There's the emotional part that we need to focus on. There's the physical part that we need to focus on. And bringing that all together makes you like a healthy, super fit individual. Now, generally, you can go to people individually and they will specialize in certain areas. So you'll go to one person, they'll focus specifically on physical and nutrition. Any personal trainer that I've been to historically, that's kind of the game. Initially, it was only just physical. Like, how do I torture you to death? And then that's it. And then the nutrition came in. And then you can go see a life coach, and then you can go see somebody else. But then along came Keegan, who takes all of those little parts and brings it together and gives you this holistic program. And it's also interconnected, and that's where the magic happens. It's not to say that, working in silos, you're not going to have a great experience. Each one has its purpose. But this is really where the magic happens. And, you know, Keegan, looking at the list of certification and stuff that you have, it's quite phenomenal. You have 13 different certificates and accreditations, which go from sports nutrition, I'm going to remember how to pronounce this, Gua Sha, yes. Gua Sha.
Yeah, well done.
You've got Hyrox certification, obviously the physical. You were a top achiever in 2015.
Weight balancing.
Yeah, weight balancing, oxygen, the list goes on. And I mean, in 2024, 2025, you gained a new certificate, and that's being like the biggest asshole to Jolene.
You're welcome.
In the boxing ring and from the physical side.
Absolutely.
And, I have trained with you, and this is the surprising thing for me. So I've trained with you a couple of times, and yes, I've been to hell's doors like a couple of times, and I've prayed to God that he must please just take my life. And it really feels...
You're back. You're back.
I'm back.
And alive and kicking.
But the thing is that, you really enjoy it. So you have this way. I think you found your passion and you found your purpose of what it is that you can actually do and the difference that you can make in people's lives, which I think is absolutely incredible. And that's what makes you unconventional. And that's why we actually want you on the podcast with us today. So maybe outside of everything I've said, do you want to give a quick intro on who you are?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me, guys. I really appreciate it.
Welcome.
So basically got brought up in a household that was very focused on health and fitness without being pressured into it. I think I've got an older brother, 3 years older than me, and I think between him and I, having role models like my dad, my mom, aunts, uncles, cousins, we had this competitive background growing up, and I'm very grateful for it. Again, nothing was put onto us. We just watched people wake up at 5 a.m., go to the gym, hear the stories of my dad's background in the police, and he got involved in ultra marathons growing up later on. And naturally, we just moved in that direction. My brother was very sporty. Him and I got very competitive in the household. And I feel like it just set a perfect foundation for where we are at this time in our lives. Besides the whole physical health side of it, our mental health side of it, our work ethic, the way we take accountability for things, our social skills, being in sports teams, you name it. So yeah, I think in a nutshell, that could be almost the introduction of where I've come from and where I'm at the moment, why I'm here.
Well, very welcome, and it's great to meet you. I had the privilege to join you in a class. Thank you, Jolene, for that fantastic invitation last week, Friday. But I can't have this podcast without knowing the guest
and the torture he puts you through. But then he can help you mentally just to get over that PTSD.
Exactly.
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win.
Hurt you, bring you back there.
Exactly.
It's almost like we're a trio. There's mental, fitness, physical, and spiritual to some degree. I think that's what you're aiming, from what I gather from you, and that's very rewarding, I think. I think we're all on a journey today where we want to be our best selves, right? And some people have different talents. And I feel that today we bomb out all those hashtags, right? Mental wellness, physical wellness, nutrition, macros, stress, anxiety. We go to doctors and we get pills and tablets and prescriptions and online classes to get to know ourselves. And I think I've read this week earlier that discipline is proof that you trust yourself. And I think that's what you can teach us today, hopefully. So if you don't mind, tell us your daily routine here in Dubai. Apart from your amazing coaching skills, what else do you do to keep alive and fit and kicking? And how do you maintain that balance between being a fitness rock star, but also incorporating the mental wellness part of that?
Yeah, good question. I feel like in our type of industry, whether you are just a mental health coach or just a personal trainer, anything to do revolving around health, you've got to show up as your best self all the time. And in order to do that, you've got to have certain pillars in place to do that, to have the energy to do it, have the mental space to do it. And therefore you need to have certain routines. So very good question. So around my work, I work most of the day, but around that I try the best I can to get my good sleep in, good food in. I am someone who has power naps. That is definitely part of my daily routine.
Even me.
100%. Being in the fitness industry.
Yeah.
100%.
Sorry guys, in my next work contract, can you please? Power nap.
I would not survive without my power naps.
Yeah.
Training. Those are my priorities. So it might sound like a boring answer being in the fitness industry, but making sure I'm on top of my nutrition, preparing my food in time, doing my programming in and around clients, and again, training. If I have time for any extra things, it would be things like cold plunges, reading a book, constantly into learning new things. We never stop growing in that way. So I feel like it's a boring answer for you guys, but those are my things in and around work. When it comes to weekends, it's more social interaction. So anywhere where I can recharge batteries, where I leave my group of people feeling recharged, and I don't feel like I need to go and take a nap after being out and going out every weekend and pissing it up. I do have my moments where I go out and I celebrate life and have a couple of drinks here and there, but it's not a common thing for me. Because if I do things like that, I will not show up as my best self. And my clients and the members are my clients and my members are everything to me. So that is my main focus. Yeah.
So I just have a question on what you were saying, because everything that we're talking about today is how do we actually help people with their wellness journey. So making sure that you're getting the right nutrition, that you're physically active, that mentally you're in a good space to tackle life, emotionally, all of that. But this is your job. So you wake up every day and this is what you do. Do you ever find that there's a blend of things and it's like, okay, but I'm doing all of these things at work, but I actually need to do these things as well. But I'm so sick of it because my God, I've done it every single day. So how do you view that? How do you look at that? Is it all blended, or like do you somehow do something differently?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Again, I try to keep everything. I wouldn't say I get over it because I'm working in that environment all the time. I preach it because I live it. So I try and live it as much as I can. And I try to stay on top of things as much as I can. Like if I don't have energy to prepare food, I'll try and get meal plans involved or any other prepared food involved. In terms of training, I'll never get over training. That is my meditation. You know what I mean? That's where I'm thinking about business opportunities or thinking where can I go, where can I better myself. I would not say I need to separate it all. I think I can blend it in very well because, again, I practice what I preach. At least I try to live it that way because it comes from a very passionate point of view. So it doesn't feel forced at all. Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what I was going to say. I think it links back to if you love your job, then you're not actually working. And I think we see the passion in you all the time. If it's the 5:45 class, is the AM, 7 a.m., 7 p.m. class, you are always like high energy and you're getting everybody going. So
100%.
you can definitely see that passion.
It is my driver of energy, to be fair. So there are days where I wake up and I'm feeling a bit knackered, whatever the case may be. But as soon as I'm in there and I'm seeing my members or clients or smiles on people's faces, and just knowing that you're putting energy into someone who's maybe having a bad day or woke up with that energy, that is my driving force, I think.
It's amazing. And even going back to your story, you were born in a family where you had those role models, essentially. And now it's your turn to be that model for other people. And we evolve nowadays in terms of fitness, right? And I think that's what I've learned from your class last week, is that, and even from your story right now, we incorporate all elements of this holistic approach. So it sounds like you're taking it one step further and making it your own, but then also want to share that with other people. Am I right?
Definitely, yeah.
That's truly amazing. Well done.
Thank you.
And how do you see that evolve in future? Because nowadays we all have opinions and we all want to be our best self, and we're all individuals, right? With our own mental abilities, our own fitness levels, and our likes and dislikes when it comes to food, right? And macros. So I don't think there's one fit for all, right? It's almost like a customized package per person.
Definitely.
So how do you see that evolve in future?
Definitely. I think that's a beautiful thing about my job as well, and I'm constantly learning. There's some people you train, and some people need it a militant style. They need to be pushed, and maybe
like you, Jolene.
like Jolene. No, Jolene's a gem. She pushes.
I moan all the time. I'm like,
but then I just turn up the music in the class. I can't hear her.
I can be a little bit dramatic from time to time.
Yeah, people have different personalities. People are brought up. They come from different backgrounds. So again, some people need a more militant style when it comes to training. Other people are maybe going through something within their lives and they need a softer approach. When it comes to nutrition, some people might be emotional eaters. They really rely on food.
Yeah.
Other people can stick to counting their macros and their calories, and they are numbers people, where other people cannot, right? Or overwhelm them and they'll shoot them over the edge and they'll probably just throw it all out the window. And it's the same with mental health. So yeah, it comes with, individually dealing with people is building a rapport with them, and that takes time. Once you build the trust with them, you kind of start to figure out their personalities, you interact with them a bit more, and you figure out a way of handling their days and handling their goals. And it's always small steps. I always believe like small steps, don't focus on the bigger picture. I think that's a big problem we face nowadays is instant gratification. People come and they say they want to lose this amount of weight and get this goal and this. I'm like, okay, right, but there's 10 other steps before you get there. You're focusing on chapter 10, we're on chapter 1. So on an individual plane, I would say basic steps. And take it as it comes. Some people might learn things quickly, others might take a while to learn them. In the broader scheme of things, the big goal, I feel like where I work at the moment, Boxica, shout out Boxica, we are in a great community. We have great bosses, great employees. Just really, it's been built up the way any business should be built up. And I feel like there's a lot of opportunities going from Boxica. We're really growing as a family. And I think when it comes from a passionate point of view, trying to really help people and see them just become better versions of themselves, you want to try and tackle as many people as possible. So it's a tough one, because the best way generally you can do it is a one-on-one approach.
Yeah.
And the more you grow with groups like that, you'll give less time and energy, and it can be done. But you've got to be smart about how you do that. So in terms of a bigger picture right now, I don't plan too far ahead. I'm more of a person who lives in the moment. I love all my clients and members to bits, and I focus on them. I give them a lot of time and a lot of energy, and I do what I can for anyone and everyone who approaches me on the side. And I believe the time will come where I start looking at a bigger approach to take on more people. in the hundreds, in the thousands, who knows. But at this moment, at this chapter in my life, I'm not there just yet. I'm still learning lots about myself and growing within my own mental health, physical health, nutrition. So once I have all the tools in place, then I'll start focusing on it a little bit more.
So the thing that comes up is obviously the physical and the nutrition side of it. But as you started your journey, I assume you started with the physical as well. So you started with the physical training. At what point in time did you realize, like, oh, actually, there's a lot more to this? So yes, there's the physical side, but actually, if I'm helping people from a mental perspective, from a life perspective, and I think the accreditation that I didn't mention is actually you have the J. Chetty life coaching certificate, which is phenomenal. So at what point did you realize, okay, but if I bring in elements of this and I bring in elements of the other, it can actually do that human being wonderful things. It can be absolutely amazing.
Yeah. I started a brand a couple of years ago called Elevate, the fitness formula. And my belief behind it is I look at it as if you're sitting on a stool with three legs. The three pillars are nutrition, physical health, and mental health. You can't have two strong ones and one weak one, or one strong one, two weak ones. If you kick one stool away or one leg away, the whole stool's going to fall. You've got to have a healthy balance of all three, and how you do that is different to each person. What you eat can easily determine your mental health. You're eating junk food all the time, you can easily be in a state of depression, your gut will be unhealthy. If you're not training, exercise is the best medicine. That can lead to obviously physical issues and mental issues. So they all feed off of each other. So where I started to pick that up, I've always been a deep thinker, and I've always been a very big reader of, like, when people talk, I feel like I rarely listen. I try to understand where they've come from, why they have certain views, why they talk the way they do. And I think big moments in my life where it's probably come up, I think COVID was a big one. So I think a lot of people realized after COVID, physical health, first of all, very important, because we were forced to sit at home. And they realized that sitting at home, now that you're forced to, even if you were someone who did it before, now that you're forced to, you really have no option. People realize moving and physical health is very important, again, for your mental health and ripple effect onto nutrition. And then I think just being in the industry for so long, I've seen people in positions where they're in positions where people believe is where they've made it. They've got lots of money, they've got the beautiful houses and cars, and they travel the world and beautiful families, but they could be very depressed. You know what I mean? So I've met a lot of amazing people in high positions, and on the outside they might be strong people, and to the world they might be strong people, but there might be something missing. So, and that's not just within them, that's also my self-development. I've realized that over time as well, and I'm still developing. I think we all are, and we never will stop. And that's where I believe, like, I needed to bring all three together if I wanted to at least bring out the best version of me and the best version of my members and give them the quality that they deserve, because they are spending good money to be with you for however long every week, and that's what they deserve.
And you touched on it a little bit earlier, but maybe if we can get into a little bit more of the technical details. And I've read up a lot on this because I'm blown away by how it all just comes together and how it actually really works. So, I mean, I've been a product of gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight all the time until you actually start focusing on all of it. Then there's an element of balance. So, I mean, I know that when you are exercising, you are releasing endorphins. Automatically your mind wants to start eating healthier, do all of those things. But then if you're not focusing on the nutrition, it kind of has the other effect. It's like, oh, well, I had this bag of chips now, so like, actually I don't want to go to gym, it's fine. And then tomorrow it's
Correct.
like, oh, well, I didn't gym yesterday, so I'm going to have the bread. So like, what is the technical side of it? So like, when you gym, what does it do? When you don't gym, what does it do? When you're not in a good mental space, how does that then impact everything else? So like, how does it come together?
I feel like you guys can agree with this. No one's ever had a gym workout and walked away feeling like I shouldn't have done that. So as you know, like, the physical side of it, gymming, just fires you up and gives you energy and clarity and sets you on the right foot to really tackle your
Blood
day.
flow, endorphins,
100%.
good sweat, you feel healthier, although you have pain.
100%. Yeah, 100%. So the moment you don't do that and you sit on the couch after that, you feel more guilty, right? And then again, it's a ripple effect. It's once you don't do one, it's easy to not do the other. right? And we've all been down that rabbit hole where we go through these bad patches, up, down, up, down. And that's life. That's life. It's never going to be on peak mode all the time. And that's with whatever we do, that it doesn't matter who you are, how good of an athlete you are. And that.
Thanks for looking at me when you said that, because yes, you know.
That's
Well
with all
done,
three pillars. So physical health will be up, down, nutrition, mental, all of it will. I think what's important are the pillars below that you have in place to get back to where you want to be. So if it's physical health, again, starting small. If you're really struggling, just go for a walk. Just get moving. Put on a YouTube channel of yoga for 20 minutes. Just get moving. If it's nutrition, stop buying the sweets. Stop making them available. Push them to the side. Start making simple meals, right? Simple, healthy meals. Don't worry about like the counting of calories and that. Just get the healthier nutrients in. If it's mental health, start journaling. Start talking to people close to you who you really value their opinion and their advice. So simple things can be done. I think we live in a world where victim mentality is really plaguing the world, and it's so easy to find excuses to not do things. Confirmation bias, we'll find things to confirm what we've said and just easily not do them. So I think I've said it before, just really back to basics, small steps, and you'll find yourself back in the place where you should be pretty soon. Whether it's a week or two, you'll be back there.
So if we had to make it practical for everyone who's listening, so I want to focus on my well-being. What does my first week look like? So I know you've mentioned some like little bits of like, okay, so do small movements, but how would you plan for someone who wants to start this journey for the first week? Like, these are the things I'm going to give you.
First, I'll sit you down, have a coffee, and again, get a background story. What training have you done? What injuries you have? How's your eating at the moment? Where you are mentally? And I won't ask it directly. I will just kind of probe around it. And once I know who you are as a person, more or less, we'll take it from there. Then from that chat, I can probably understand how I would push you in the first session. And again, if you're someone who's never trained before, we'll start out with one session. If it's one session a week, perfect, right? That session will hopefully get you going home and not eating that bag of sweets anymore. Maybe it will tire you out so you get to bed a bit earlier, right? You've worked really hard in that session, so it's easier to say no to these other negative things because you've put in a lot of time and effort and money, and you know what's to lose. Once you've done the one session, we'll take it to 2, take it to 3, whether you're training with a trainer or not, doing things on the side. Anything, any movement, paddling, any sport, swimming, netball, going for that walk. It could be recreational, doing it with groups, could be by yourself. And again, that will come with, I think, the chat when I'm with the client. It's just giving them that extra motivation because we do go down a rabbit hole and it's easy to lose motivation and, again, feel like a victim. And I think sometimes people do need to be handheld a bit. Doesn't matter what age you are, where you've been in your life. Some people just need that little bit of a push. And once they're there, they feel that flow. And you guys would know, being in that sort of gym environment and training. Once you're in that flow, it's easy to lose it. But once you lose it, it's hard to get out of it. So getting the help from a trainer or mental health coach, it will hopefully get you out of it and get you finding your flow again.
And it all boils down to being basic, essentially, right? Movement, being active beats inactivity. It's all things natural for us. We all can walk, we can all walk a dog, we can all run, we can all play rugby. It's a matter of just being basic. But how do you then get out of your head and into your body? Because we all, like you say, have this victim mentality where we'll find an excuse and we'll find reasons.
I'm too busy. I don't have time to journal.
100%.
I don't have, and this is a lot of
Exactly.
the things people
we're
would
building these walls around us to not be well.
Yeah.
And to your point earlier around COVID, I hear your point. And personally for me, I thought I would run away COVID. I was stuck in my house in Johannesburg for a good 8-9 months. I'm blessed to actually have a big yard, to have my own route where I walked and ran. But then as soon as those lockdown rules came down, I was in the gym on a treadmill every day, thinking mentally, I will run away this virus. And I came out of the lockdown a much stronger person because I had that focus and that mentality. But you need a support system, right? We can all have macros and application and data that tells us this is good food, this is bad for you, you're not sleeping good. That's noise, isn't it?
100%.
So now, how do you get people to understand it's actually that easy? Because it sounds to me like, while he's breaking it down, Jolene, it's boom, 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 and it's not supposed to be that difficult.
Yeah.
Why are we making it that tough on ourselves?
Yeah.
But this is exactly it. And this is what Keegan was saying about the victim mentality, which I agree with 100%, is you can literally wake up in the morning, take 5 minutes to yourself and get off your phone. Like, don't even start with your phone. Start with the journaling and maybe just like write down, like, what am I grateful for today? Immediately that changes your whole mindset and you have more energy. You've had a good night's rest. You go to the gym, you do all of these things. But we just don't want to. There's always everything else that's so much more important. Like, I've got to go to work and the news and my kids and the blah, 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 blah. So
what is that anti-blocker, if that's even a word?
Yeah, I think it comes down to, first it comes down to priorities and how badly people want it. Because often people will talk and they think they believe what they're saying. They'll approach me and they'll say, I want to lose this amount of body fat. But they're not willing to put in that effort. Yes, you're paying the money and you come and see me however many hours a week. But what are you doing behind closed doors? What advice are you taking on board? What extra effort are you putting into it? How badly do you really want it? And half the time, again, you dig deeper and you actually realize that most people don't really want it. And sometimes it just takes a bit of work, right? Some people will find that position soon enough. Other people need a couple of years. You never know. Like, again, there's other issues going on under the layer of onion, right?
Do you think they want one part of it? So it's like, okay, I want to lose body fat and that's it. And they're not willing to do the rest.
Yes
they're
and
like,
no.
I don't have to write gratitude, blah, blah.
Yeah, yes and no. You get some people who want one part of it and then others who are more open-minded and understanding that there's more to the picture of it. But that's where, like, I would try and influence their way of thinking like that. And you mentioned support system. Like, support system is crucial. Like, I feel like, again, if you set your goals and your priorities, you need to be cutthroat with that.
Be accountable to one another.
You have to be so cutthroat with who you're spending your time with, the amount of time, where you're spending your time, how are you doing it? Because, as we all know, it's cliche, but time is limited.
Yeah.
If you're going to be spending it with groups that you leave and you feel drained and you need a nap, like, you're going to be wasting more time.
You love napping, don't you?
Yeah, love it. But yeah, like, when I, like, honestly,
it's a good tip. No, I love it. That's great.
Honestly, when I leave my group of mates or my family, like my people close to me, I feel energized. I feel motivated. They most of the time they'll teach me something new, but it's also because I picked them. You know what I mean? You have the power to pick your friends, your family. A lot of people, this is personal opinion, people go on about, like, blood is thicker than water, like they're your family. If a family members bring you stress and causing you disruption in your life constantly, like, you make your own decision. Do you want to deal with that constantly, right? And let it affect you and the people you work with, or do you want to do something about it? It doesn't mean you have to cut them out directly, but minimize your time with them, minimize your energy with them, so you have enough to focus on your priorities and your goals. So the power is in your hands. Like, you choose your avenues that you want to go down. And I think that's also where people get stuck. A lot of people have personalities that they are people pleasers and they find it hard to say no to people or set boundaries. And it takes work. It's not easy. It's a practice.
Fair enough.
It's a practice, yeah.
There's a difference between looking good and feeling good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a practice. I think once you put those priorities in place and you understand them, writing them down is perfect because then they come to life.
Yeah.
And if your friends and your family are as close to you as what you think they are, they will understand that. They invite you out for a drink and you say, you go out, but I'm not drinking. If you got the mates who say, oh, come on, have a drink, have a shot, this. Like, I'm confident enough to say no. Like, I don't want to. But some people are not. They buckle under peer pressure. And this is what I've always done. But meanwhile, John over here is trying to lose weight. He's got a high body fat percentage. He's maybe got heart disease, whatever the case may be. As a mate, you should understand. He's trying to better himself, not only for him, for his kids and his wife. It shouldn't be hard to follow. I mean, that's what you think. And again, if your friends and people close to you are not allowing that to happen, you need to reconsider who's in your circle.
That's very unconventional and a good point.
But we had a conversation once, and I think something that you said had stuck. There's absolutely nothing wrong with setting a boundary with someone where you don't want to spend your time with them because they're not a good energy for you. It's not about being rude. It's not about being horrible. It's just about protecting yourself and what's good for you. It's actually quite a healthy boundary to have. And surround yourself with your support system where people actually feed you and give you that energy and actually support the things that you want to try and achieve.
Yeah. And people will respect you more for standing by
Correct.
your goals and your priorities. Yeah.
And it just takes practice. I mean, the minute you start practicing setting boundaries, it gets easier and easier. And the impact that has on you as an individual, you actually feel like, wow, like I can actually do this. Like, look at me. Like, kudos, well done for setting that boundary. But it's just taking that first step.
It's a ripple effect.
It is.
It's just like when you go to gym for the first time. You tried Boxica the other day for the first time. You were sore for quite a few days. It's that first step. And you'll get a lot of resistance when you say no to that person and the mate that you've gone out with a few times. It will be hard. But once you give yourself the proof that you can do it, the confidence will build and it'll come easy.
Of course, we need more people, I think, like you, to be an advocate of this new way of health. Because I think stress is a killer. We have to avoid that. And it's by means of the right knowledge, understanding of your own body, of your own circumstances. It's very unique and it's actually very complex, isn't it? And then when you smile, you have happy endorphins. When you exercise, you feel good. You almost numb the pain, essentially, and you want more of that because your body wants to heal all the time. It wants good sleep. It wants good macros all the time. So why do we tend to poison ourselves? I think that's a big question, really. And the way you're leading us is good as well done with that.
I think it's a form of escape.
Yes.
Right? It's a big form of escape. We all need our downtime. Everyone does it differently. But yeah, I think a lot of it is escape. And sometimes exercise can be an escape. Too much exercise.
True.
So yeah, I would never say to someone, this is wrong, that's right.
Yeah.
Like everyone's got their own views on things. And you try and figure out where they would, through the right questions, you see how they can develop through that. And they, half the time the penny will drop just through the right questions. And you can see it. You can see the look on their face.
Correct.
And it's a beautiful sight to see. And you see it again mentally, you see it physically. When often I get clients who come to me and they say, I want to do this. And I say, okay, right, bang, let's put this step in place. And they are shitting themselves. They're anxious. The limiting beliefs are thrown out. And you can see it. And you help them do it once and the jaw drops and then they've got belief for the next thing. And yeah, it's a process over time, but I think that's the most satisfying
Correct.
part of my job is just seeing people grow in all three pillars.
Yeah, you literally see it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, beautiful.
There's
it's
no,
beautiful.
and it's like when people do these physical challenges, it's like there's no getting away from it. I'm literally going to see how you evolve,
Yeah.
like
Yes.
physically, exactly, mentally.
It's beautiful.
And
It's
emotionally
beautiful.
as
And they
well.
become like family to you.
Yeah,
So yeah, I love it.
it gives you your purpose. Sounds
100%. Yeah.
We have some rapid fire questions for you.
Lovely.
So just to ask you straight off the bat, unprepared.
Under pressure. Okay.
Under pressure.
Okay.
Now we're gonna,
Well,
Well,
Button up,
it's
yeah.
still now, Jolene. I mean, we were on a rapid boxing Friday morning, so it's now your time to be on
yeah, and then
in
you're
a
gonna
boxing
do,
ring.
and then you're gonna do 20 burpees when we're done. Just for
Easy.
200
5 seconds,
burpees.
I'm
Yeah,
done.
5 seconds.
Easy. Challenge accepted.
Okay, what is your morning ritual?
Morning ritual. I would like to say I jump in an ice cold plunge every morning, do some breath work, eat something healthy, but that is not the case. I literally, that's ideally what I'd love to do every morning. And I would preach that to people if they had the time and energy for it. But literally my morning ritual is waking up, getting ready, and a coffee. The simplest thing in life for me. When I have that sip of morning coffee, bang, and then I'm pretty much straight into work. So if it's on the weekend and I've got that time, then my morning ritual is straight to the gym.
5 a.m. in the mornings.
Yeah, straight to the gym, followed by a healthy meal. And from there, if I've got any outgoings with the people close to me in my life or programming or reading a book.
Oh,
So
healthy meals. What
during
is-
the week, I don't have anything interesting for you guys. It's wake up, coffee, and work.
There's some
But-
podcasts.
And some podcasts, but
And some podcasts,
healthy
yeah.
meals. So
Yeah.
your next question, what did you have for lunch today?
What did I have for lunch today? Oh, Jolene sat in my car. This is actually embarrassing. Very embarrassing. At least you know I'm being honest about this now.
Come on,
So-
everybody.
My indulgence when it comes to food is like cola bottles or Haribos, any jelly sweets. So anyway, I had a full day of work from 5 a.m. until whatever the time was. I rushed home. Didn't have any food prepared. I did, but I'd eaten it already. I had 2 bagels I'd eaten in the car while I was rushing around for work. So I did have my healthy food. So I got home, there was nothing in the fridge. So showered, got ready, literally had to move. So I saw a bag of sweets, chucked them in my belly. So it filled up a bit.
It's energy. I mean, if
It's
you start
energy,
at
yeah.
5 a.m., even when we did running, Jolene, on a marathon or half marathon, I mean, you pack your moon bag, so to speak, with
Yeah.
jellies. I mean, it gives energy. So
It's all about consistency. I don't even feel guilty for it.
Yeah.
It's a 90-10 rule, right? Or 80-10 rule. 80-20. That's poor maths. 80-20.
what makes you smile?
I think I mentioned it before. Going into either one-on-one session or a class where I'm teaching many people and just knowing that they've left feeling better. They've got a smile on their face. They are ready for the day. Knowing that they're growing physically because they come to a gym class, hopefully mentally because because something we've spoken about and shared together, or because of the people they've interacted with. So definitely spreading energy to others. That would be A, and then B is just personal growth. So whether that's reading a book, doing a course, I believe those 2 things, maybe 3 relationships, dealing with the people around you. Those 3 things I believe are your pillars for happiness.
It's very serious. I thought you would say, I laughed at Jolene for putting on her boxing gloves wrong side around Friday morning, but
I mean, Charl.
Or seeing her nearly fall over because her legs don't work anymore. Yeah, it is. That makes
Or
me
making
smile.
me like sweat in my own sweat because
Yeah,
you do
yeah.
these funny routines.
That does make me
Slipping.
smile. Yeah. That was the 4th thing I was going to mention.
oh, you're so humble. You're so humble. Thank you so much.
So what is your proudest achievement?
My proudest achievement, that's a big one. I think moving to Dubai and setting up life here, that was probably the toughest thing I've ever done. They say moving abroad is one of the top 3 most traumatic things someone can go through. I didn't have a support system, or at least not a big one when I came through. I wasn't financially stable. I didn't want to ask for any support from my dad or anyone back home. I believed if I needed to do that, I'd move back home. So I'd probably say that personal development and coming through and really setting up and having a good community now. In terms of like one single event, maybe doing a hikes up Kilimanjaro.
Oh, wow.
That was probably the hardest thing I've ever done, mentally and
Really?
physically. Some people found it very easy. What I've realized with people I've spoken to, fit and unfit, is it's 50-50. Some people really struggle.
Yeah.
They could be the fittest person. And then other people found it really, really easy. So yeah, it depends on the amount of days you did it in and makes it more difficult or not. But that mentally and physically, that was probably the biggest achievement. Event that I've done.
What is
now.
your favorite protein?
Favorite in terms of food or like
Food.
a shake?
Food.
Food. Probably chicken. I make my own chicken often. I do make chicken schnitzel often. Cordon bleu. Often chicken can be on anything. People laugh at me. Chicken mayonnaise pizza.
I love a good chicken Gordon Bleu.
Don't worry, Charl has banana on his pizza.
Oh, and that's different. No judgment.
So Keegan, if you had one piece of advice for anyone who's wanting to start this journey of improving their own well-being, but not really sure how they should, where do they even start? What piece of advice would you have for them?
I think finding the right people to guide you down that path. So whether it's one person helping you down many avenues, or whether again you've got separate people, do your research. Make sure they have the right qualifications. They've got good experience. Often the times people find them is through word of mouth. They've helped so many other people that they get put onto them. But that is very, very important. You need to be getting the right advice, the right people. Otherwise, you could go 100 kilometers an hour down the wrong path and find yourself at the wrong goal or the wrong location, and you've wasted a couple of years of your life. So that, and then again, starting small and setting your priorities straight.
Good advice.
Where do people find you if they want to get hold of you?
They can find me on OnlyFans. No, I'm kidding.
Well, we've all seen that.
Was it you?
Was it me? Yeah. Got all this ink, so you'll be able to see if it was me. No, so I've got first of all, I work at Boxcar again, and all respect to Boxcar, because I feel like I wouldn't be anywhere right now without them. So I do work at Boxcar. You can find me through there amongst many other trainers. And I've got a brand called Elevate, which I started a couple of years ago. It's on Instagram, called Elevate the Fitness Formula, where again, we try and make it a bit funny, but we focus on mental health, nutrition and physical health. And yeah, we do bring a humorous side to it. And I try and post there when I can, if I've got the energy, and keep in contact with as many people as I can.
And I think it's really informative, your Elevate Instagram page, by the way. Lots of insightful information. So I'm just going to say in closing, Keegan, I think you had an impact on my life, whether you know it or whether you don't. Like, I call you an asshole, but honestly, it comes from a really good place. It's not bad at all in any way. And I think I was always passionate, and I knew about holistic well-being, but then, coming across your path and doing your challenge, I learned so much more about wellness in its totality, but also how it actually impacted me. I showed you my picture from many, many years ago, where Keegan did not believe that was me. He was like, my goodness.
Have you seen it?
I have seen it, and I still don't believe it.
Yeah,
And,
I still don't believe it as well.
That was before AI, so it must be real.
Yeah.
It must be real.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've done a lot of work subsequent to that, but I think that was really a defining point for me, where things really, really started to change and everything started to come together. So if I can say to anyone who's listening to this podcast, focus on all three elements. And if anyone's in Dubai and wants to use Keegan, I would highly, highly recommend them using you.
I appreciate
And
that.
hopefully
Thank
one
you.
day I was watching you, I can also point like this, and then my bicep is going to be like, my tricep is going to be like,
They all show a no-go.
oh, I do this, just like,
Johnny Bravo.
You asked earlier what makes me smile, and it's honestly just feedback like that, and associating with people like yourselves. And again, that's what's the satisfaction part of the job. So thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for being on the
Very
podcast.
cool.
And
Yeah.
Charl, I'll hand over to you for
Yeah, I
any
mean, I
closing
think,
comments.
again, back to support. I think support is so essential. Being an expat, having your own business, and having events in our life, whether it's work or personal, that one can see a smile on your face when you're happy. And I think what I've learned today is that all three elements need to work, in conjunction to make us smile. So, and I think you bring a smile onto many people's faces, and I'll definitely join again for a class or two. Maybe I'll have a coffee and you can unpack my future routine.
I thought you were going to say all that.
No. But I mean, I feel people really need to understand this
Yeah.
to apply to their own lives, because what you've touched here on, I think, has got so much room to grow in the future and have impact in lives. With that being said, we've brought you a small gift as appreciation token.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh.
After you've done your 20 burpees.
After I've done my 20 burpees.
No, actually, I think this is the perfect opportunity, Charl, to challenge you to
Arm
do...
wrestling match.
No. No, that's still like a walk in the park. You've been talking about Hyrox for a very long time. I've told you about my near-death experience with Keegan. I think the challenge is that he needs to come to one of your Hyrox classes.
100%. You've seen
Done.
us there. It's
Done.
a beautiful community.
Done.
We all struggle together.
We have it on camera.
There we go. I love that.
And also,
Yeah.
I mean, it's fear factor, and I think that's done normally in pairs. So I need a Mikey.
Lovely. I was
Keegan will
about
do it
to
with
say
you.
she can't give you something and you can't fire one back. So
Exactly. So from our Mavericks toy range, we'll give you a rooster helmet.
oh, that is amazing.
Okay. We'll be an early rise in the mornings,
I love that.
and there's a little gift. Thank
Thank
you for being
so
our
much,
guest.
guys. I love
Thank
that.
you.
That's amazing. I've got a shelf at home where I've got ornaments of like where places I've traveled to and things
Perfect.
I've done. So that will sit right on top of that.
Thank you
Look
for
really
being our
good.
guest, and you've
Thank
been
you
a
so
superstar.
much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Keegan.
it.
Thank you, Charl.